Chat is okay, so I don't have to have my phone up to do chat. It's there. Okay, cool.
Should be ready to go.
Awesome. Yeah, sure. Hi. So we should be live. So let me know if it's going well. So we're gonna hang out today and do some multiple hooping. Okay, so there's about a 30-second delay then? Okay. Hi guys, so we are live. So today we are going to be here in the studio and we are going to be doing some multiple hoopings. I have had several clients who have asked me for this video. So in the home sewing world, there is a creator. Let me make sure I get her name right, and I'm going to find this link and we'll put it down. There's a creator who makes these amazing multiple hooping designs. She's Claudia Danell, and I got one of her designs. It's a pretty cute design too. But she makes these multiple hooping designs for quilts so that you have like a strip across the top of the quilt and then there's a design in the middle and a strip across the bottom. But you have to hoop all these different times to create the design. So I did a test run of this and I just grabbed some denim. So I have this panel that I made for a skirt a few years ago that I never made and finished. So I just grabbed this because it was nice and big so that I could see what it would be like sewing it on a nice big piece of fabric. But this is the design that we're going to do today for this tutorial, because basically what we're trying to figure out is how to take this and the instructions that she gives and do this design on a multi-needle machine, because her instructions are fabulous for the machine that she created them for. But we want to be able to do this and line all of these pieces up. So this is seven hoopings. 7 hoopings to get this design on here. So this is what we're going to work on this morning. And then later what I'll do is later on in the week I will go through the live video from today and kind of edit it down to, you know, the nuts and bolts and make a shorter tutorial. But today we're just going to go through the mess of what it's like doing it live and for real. So the only thing that I've done is I kept my printouts. And I'm going to, you know, I can pull up my printer and do a printout, but I can show you. But we basically have to print the design. So I have all my printouts from when I did that. We're going to work on that. And I have a new piece of fabric to work on today. I have just a nice piece of purple. This is a jersey knit, so it's kind of like a t-shirt type material, but it's a nice long strip from who knows what other project was cut out of it, but it's a nice big thick piece and it'll work well for my piece. Let me switch the camera to here. Yeah. So I have my pieces, right? They're, what is this? So this design is basically 11 inches. And but each one is about 11 inches, and each design is about, I think, 7 inches wide, somewhere around 7 inches wide. So this will work fine for my fabric. It's like the only time you get to talk to yourself. It's okay. Yeah, these will work great on this fabric. Yeah, so there's my design from there to there. Perfect. This will work great. Okay. So I have a couple of different cameras set up. So I have an overhead camera here, so when I'm doing the hooping and working on things, I have a flat surface. And today I have my tripod camera set up over here. Let's see if I can switch it. Haha, I got it switched. So this camera, the tripod camera, is the one I'm going to be moving around, so that one, we'll try not to make you too dizzy. And then I have my screen from my computer on here as well. So when we're working on that, you'll be able to see what's going on there. Yeah, it's totally not the right design. It's okay. So let's start by loading up a design. All right. So what we're going to do is go to load a design, and I have everything on my desktop. Here it is. This set is called Nature Calls, and designs, and I'm going to use the JEF file. The JEF file is the one that brings in the actual colors for me so I can see. There it is. All right, perfect. So the first design that we're due is the center design. So she works from the center out. So first thing we'll do is get some colors on here. So I think the design, oh yeah, we don't need any appliques. That was what I was doing my last design. Let's see. So the first black one is like our, I think it's the center, like a plus sign. It is. It's like a plus sign here, which is like the center of the design that she works off of. Let's see. We have some green for some trees. We'll have to make sure that's colored. Let's see, more green. I really only have the one green, so it's all just going to be one green, which is fine. We can work on that. And then the last one is the mountains. We'll do them in black. Yeah, there they are, mountains. All right, so I have my colors set for whatever design you're doing. Colors are set. We're using the 17 by 11 hoop, which is a standard hoop that comes with, should come with your machine. Just a standard jacket back hoop. Get that out. Let's see. So hoop. Then we have our active feed. That should be at like normal 7. So we are using the my machine is the Melco EMT16x. So my minimum active feed is going to be 7, but if you're using the XTS or the XT machine, your normal minimum setting is going to be probably like 3 or 4. And then my speed, I'm just going to run it at 1100. We'll see how it sounds on the stream and go from there. Open my design shop in case I need it. There we go. Don't need any of that. And don't need any of that. Okay. Okay. Stania. Hi, Stania. I just looked over and saw my chat. How are you today, Miss Stania? Are you working today or are you home and because of the holiday weekend? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. is the center here. Okay. So I think I forgot to do something in the computer with this design. I just pulled it in and loaded it. But I think we have to go back to the screen and work on this just a little bit. Okay. So let's go to Design Shop. And we're going to open this in here. Desktop, Nature Calls. Where is our JF? First row. Oh, look, I finally got thumbnails. First center. Okay, center open. Make sure that this is centered. All right. Now, I don't need the little plus sign for the center of the design thing that she has in here. So I think I'm just going to delete that out of the design because I just don't want to have to pluck the stitches later. So then we have tree, and our mountain outline. So what I want to make sure that I did was had this centered because my machine goes off of this red center of my design, and so that's where I'm going to be working out from. Make sure to load it. In version 11, I can actually send the design with the little load design icon straight to the machine. So now I know that the one that I have loaded is the actual center. And you can see the colors kind of changed because now that first black color is gone. So I'm going to pick, it's going to look funny, but I'm going to pick 5. Because it's really just a visual. Okay. Okay. Now, if you're in Design Shop, from here, what you're going to do is we are going to print this. So you're going to go to Print. Let me make sure my printer is plugged in first before we do this. I guess it doesn't really need to be, oh, it is plugged in. There it is. That's the right cable. All right, so print. And so depending on what level of software you have, I'm working in Design Shop 11. And in Design Shop 11, there's a sub-program that comes up so that I can have lots of options. But the basics are going to still be the same whether or not you have it. Because in the other versions of Design Shop, you can still print a design. It's just a little bit, a lot less options. Okay, so what I need is actual size with the origin and the grid, which is going to be this down here. So this is going to print it in 4 pages, but I don't actually need the first 2 pages. So you see how it shows the design, like half of it prints on one sheet and half prints on the other. So I'll hit print and print this out. All right, I'm going to open the door to my printer just so we can do this. Turn on my printer. Okay, printer's on. That is the right printer and all of the pages. Okay, we'll get this printed, so I'll show you how to actually create the paper here. We'll do one from scratch. It's not a big deal. But it does only print so much because we're using 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. Maybe. Oh no, it's going to print front and back. Stop. Stop. Page. Set up. Yeah, it's going to do it. Oh no, this isn't going to work. It's printing on the front and the back of the paper. Okay, let's try that again. Print options. Oh, this is going to be something I have to actually change in the printer settings. TR86. How do I go to the properties? There it is, printer properties. No. Printing preferences, that's what I need. There we go. And duplex, there we go, turn that off. I had it printing on both sides of the paper. That ain't gonna work. Try this again. We'll get it. Print. Okay. Yeah, because this first page it prints out, gives you like a small little thumbnail of the design and all kinds of info. We don't really need this. It just shows us our colors and stuff. We need the template for actually stitching it out. That's what we need. All right. I'm going to switch to the overhead camera. Okay. All right, so to generate these sheets, basically what we're going to do is print the design once we've centered it. First thing we had to do was center it. So with our prints now, we're going to line these up. We basically need to get rid of all this white space. So you can cut it, you can fold it, however, whatever works best for you. I like to leave one sheet whole and then cut the other one. And I'm just going to cut right along the edge. This way, I have a template of exactly what I'm going to stitch in actual size so that I can see exactly where it's going to go. Okay. Get it lined up here, and lined up down here along this spot. My tape dispenser. Lined up, tape it in. There we go. That's what we need. Now we have our first piece to go in the center of our design of our fabric. Okay, tape dispenser I can move. Move the scissors out of the way. Okay, so Where's the center of my center of my fabric is already marked for me. It has a seam right along here, so that's great. Yeah, that should be fine. It's not that long. I'll just make it to the center of my fabric. So. All right, and I know I have a straight pin, so it's going to be right in here. What? What are you giggling at?
I tried calling the state park, the reservation.
Yeah, reservations.
We're experiencing unusually high call volume. Current wait time is an hour and 42 minutes.
An hour and 42 minutes to book our campsite for tonight? Okay. Oh, yeah, no problem. Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Happy New Year. Just looked over and saw my chat. Anna. Hi, Anna. And Brenda. Hi. There are always issues when you go live. Yes, there is. It took us a minute to sort out the headphones. Headphone. This was the biggest problem. It took us a while to figure out how to get this to connect. That's okay. We got it now. We figured it out. Windows had the whole thing turned off. Okay, back to overhead camera. Okay. All right. I'm going to move this other piece out of the way. Bring my fabric back out. And this is kind of the center mark. So from here, I'm going to work out of my fabric. Just going to line it up, kind of, sort of. That's close enough. You can be as precise as you want, and that's the beauty of this technique, because with the template being printed, you can put it wherever. So then once we go to the next one, it'll be even easier to see. But we are going to have to stitch this first design out. And I'm just kind of pinning the paper to my fabric sort of straight. Because if I start this one crooked, the rest of the design is going to run crooked on the fabric as we build. I so love that design. Miss Shauna, do you have this design, Miss Shauna? Have you stitched this yet? I'll try to find a link to it and get it posted maybe later if I don't get it all found today. But we're just kind of playing and hanging out today. Okay, so this is pinned and ready to go, but I need some backing. And I'm going to get out my roll of cutaway. Working in the camper, everything's tight. So the backing, I'm going to actually make it the length of my fabric so that it's one continuous piece. Guess measuring the fabric would have been a good idea, huh? Oh, well. No, you don't have the design. Okay. Yeah, see if I can find it. This is actually just one section. The whole, you know, there's a top row, a bottom row, and a middle section to this. Just kind of laying my fabric out. Make sure I cut the backing to the same size. Ish. So, Miss Shauna and Anna, if you're still there, and everybody. So basically what I'm planning on doing is every Sunday, I plan on going live this year. And every Sunday, I'll be doing some other project, some project of some sort. So if there's a project or something or a technique that you want to learn together with me, just send it in the comments and I will put it on the list. But I'll tell you right now, I'll show you my list. It's pretty expensive. Doesn't even show you. Haha, look at that privacy setting. So it's pretty long. I basically have 19 things on my video list to do. So if there's something you want to learn, then absolutely type it in the comments and we'll figure it out. Alright, so I got my fabric and my piece of backing is the same size. Excellent, now I'm ready to hoop. Don't click on any links that are in the chat that you don't know. Okay, let's see. Piece, doing my braille here. Get my back of my hoop in here. There's the top, there's the top. There's the bottom of my hoop. And the cool thing about the laser alignment technique is I don't have to be perfect. As I search for my scissors, I don't have to be perfect in my hooping because the laser alignment will let me adjust it. There we go. Okay, and hoop. Don't have my hoop wide enough, gotta widen it out some. All right, hooped. Get rid of all of this. And because it's t-shirt, it's all like really loose. I don't normally pull on things, but I plan on, when this is all done, framing this and hanging it on the wall because it's going to be an artwork. So I'm not really making a quilt today. Okay, that's ready. Now then, I'll switch back to the tripod because we're going to go to the machine. I have to make sure the machine's ready. That printer. Okay, get this out of here. My napkins and tissues out. Who needs 2 boxes of tissues? Alright, got my canned air ready to go. Let's see. I know there's a couple of needles that are not threaded, so let's get that going. I do have to hang my... I got a really cool... Being a subcontractor for Melco, they did ornaments this year. It's super cool. Which is kind of awesome. It's the first ornament that I've gotten. And it's 21 because I started doing embroidery in 2000. So this is like a 21-year thing for me. It's pretty heavy too. It's like metal. Okay. What do we have? We're going to be using the green. And the green is not threaded. Do I have a needle on the green? Yes. Guess I should have had it threaded and ready to go, but we had a pretty long day of driving yesterday, getting everything ready this morning. And it only takes a second. Okay, green. Now the yellow that I selected is actually this multicolor design, which I think will look cute for a tree. That one is 5, and it's not threaded either. Ha, and I lost it. Haha. There it is. I'm in love with this multi-colored thread right now. It's been on my machine continuously, and I've been sewing it with so much stuff. But I walked by the machine with the container a couple of weeks ago and snagged every single one of my threads, pulled them out. So I've literally only been rethreading the ones that I need. Okay. Threaded, threaded, threaded. That one, and we're using black. Black I know is threaded. Yep, that one is done. What other color did I have set on the machine? I had 5, 11, 11, and black. Okay. Now before I get started, oh wait, hold on. Let me see. Love the laser alignment. Use it all the time. Yeah, it's a pretty fabulous thing for sure. Let's see. Alignment got me every time. I forget, so I'm going to save this video. Yeah, the trick to it is you can't look at the screen because the design moves like all over the screen and it does weird stuff, so you just can't look at the screen when you're doing it. Okay, let's get this puppy oiled. Make sure I got a full bobbin. And my tension is good. Okay, drop of oil. Okay, grab her in. Threads are trimmed. I think we're ready. Almost. I really like my tabletop, so I'm going to put it on. I love this thing. If you like doing big stuff, quilting and so forth, and you have had your item pop out of the hoop. Tabletop. Love this thing. I most of the time have it on the machine. We take it off for traveling because you'll see it sticks out so far, and we normally have bikes in here. So I'm going to put this on because I love it. Hi, Jerry. Hi. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so basically it has a bracket in here that I'm going to line up in that same dovetail that the hat driver locks into. On, tighten those up really nice. There we go. Put the legs down. Hello, tabletop. Okay. Now then. Yeah, right? It's like hoop here, so here. It's all close. Okay, so now I'm going to get this on the machine. And my arms are set up correctly. That's good. I'll just kind of hang over. And locked in. Fairly good. Fairly straight. Let's see. Nope, got it all bunched up back here. There we go. All right, now it's not bunched. Ready to go. Okay, can you make this taller so that it can point down into the hoop for me? Yeah. Taller? Yeah. Much better. Yeah, like that. That's good. Haha. Sun in the background. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to do laser alignment and get this first one sewing. So basically I'm going to go to the outside corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's there and there. I need to mark this so I don't get lost later, because it's, you know, it's all about even on each side, because we're going to be doing the center between the two. All right, so step 1, we're going to use the hoop and the arrow keys so that my laser light is shining on my first reference point. Like that, and I'm right at the crosshairs. Yeah, I can't quite see it. Yeah, you can see the laser light shine now. So I'm basically right at the intersection, you know. So then I'm going to program this, which is a laser left arrow. So it programmed that point. So now I'm going to move. That was step 2. So step 3 is get to my next reference point. Right there. Step 4, program it, which is laser left arrow. Okay. And then center, laser bullseye. Center's the 2. Center. Yep, yep. Reload. Okay. Good. My trees moved on my screen. All right. So now the trick is I gotta make sure that I trace. So I'm gonna do the hoop and the star, and I should be able to see that laser light run right around the edges of that design. Corner, bottom corner, side, side. Yep. Point, point, point. It hit every single point perfectly. So I know this is gonna stitch right where I have this paper pinned. All right. Let's do this. Move the grabber out of the way. Pull my pins. And let's stitch this so we can move to the second one. Let's see, I could use that when I was embroidering on horse blankets. Oh, yes, absolutely. Any kind of design, for sure. Hey, did it catch? No. All right. Scissors. Okay, that's one. If it breaks again, I'm going to change the needle. How's the sound when the machine is running? Let me know. So I guess it's going to take a few minutes. Says it'll take about 30 minutes to stitch this out. So in that first 30 minutes, what it could be doing is printing the other pieces and getting them ready to go. I'm going to switch this to here. So how's the machine sound in the background? Is it very distracting? Hardly hear it? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so this is the first page, center. I'm going to go with that one. That's 7. That's 5. 4, 2. Okay, so 2 is the one I need to print next. I'm going to do it with you because the next step is the important one, which is where we carve out the pieces that line up to the next piece. So we're going to switch this over to the screen for a minute while I pull up and do the next design. Okay, so we need 2. So we'll go into Design Shop. We're going to open 2. Right, that's the one that goes with it. 2 there. Yes. I'm going to make sure, the first thing I'm going to do is center the design, and it is centered, which is what I want. And now I'm going to print it. Go to my print feature, make sure my printer is on. And I have paper. And origin, grid, yep, that's what we want. Actual size, that's what we want. Print. My printer and make sure that the duplex, yeah, that's off. Print. Okay, so that's printing. We'll get the next piece ready. So I'm basically going to show you how I got to this point, because it looks kind of weird. We're going to talk about why. First page is on the floor. Perfect spot for it. First piece. Second piece. Hey, Drew, check it out. I need to do my printer. It's losing color. Next thing I'm going to need is ink for the printer. It's not printing in color. Another time, not now. Okay, so we don't need this page. We need these two. And we're going to do the same thing we did for our centerpiece, which is pick one. I always like to cut this one because I'm righty. If you're left-handed, you can cut this one if that's easier for you, whichever one is easiest. My wonderful Drew is working on ink for the printer. The wonderful man in the background who makes everything work for me. What's your active speed set on the speed? Okay, we can look at that. Let me go back to the screen and I'll pull that up. So I have my active speed set right now at 9. At 7, I got a thread break from this multicolored thread. So I loosened the tension, even though it is a polyester thread. So I have it set for 9, and remember, that's because I'm using the EMT16x machine. I don't remember what machine you have, Anna. Do you have the XT or XTS, or do you have the new EMT16x? Because yours might be a little lower. If you're running 9 on an XT or an XTS, you'll probably have to turn off the bobbin detect. I just didn't want to have thread breaks, and I think thread's running fine now. So, okay, and then I have my speed set at 1100 because it's just a nice speed for me. If I go any faster than that, it'll give me a headache. So yeah, if I go any faster than that, it gives me a headache. So because I'm in a box. I'm in an 8-foot box, and there's no carpeting or no acousticing in here. So yeah, it gets a little loud. Okay, let's go back to the overhead and go back to this piece. So I'm going to do the same thing as before where I line these two up. And I'm going to get as perfect as I can. Shape it. Okay. Now, in the design, she uses a piece of the first design to line up the next design. And so when I pull up number 2, I'll go back to the screen and show you. On the screen, in Design Shop, number 2, the first color, I'm going to make this all kind of disappear and turn on the first color. This first color is this little kind of wiggly line. And that little wiggly line is what she uses to line up the second piece to the first so that it continues and goes down. Then we have a tree, and more mountains. So that's what I need to access, is that line. This line here. Which is good. At least she gives you something to line up to, which is right under here. It's snugged right there. So, switch the camera back. On the first design, I don't know if you can see it too well on my printout, but there's a nice dark outline on everything until you get to that spot. And then there's no outline there. So I can kind of see where it's supposed to line up. So on this piece that I just taped together, I want to expose that. So I'm going to cut it to look like this so that I can line that piece up to there so that it continues. And you kind of see how that works? All right, so let's cut this. Because I'm going to come in and it goes from here to there. Okay. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to go right up to that line. And I'm just going to carve it out. Because this is what it lines up. To there. Also, what I'm trying to make sure when I'm doing this cutting is that I don't get rid of this line here, because remember we need this line for our laser alignment. So I'm kind of going in and carving out just what I need to get to that piece. So now, if I lay it on there, I can line it right up with the other design. Yeah, perfect. And that's how it lines up. So this is part of the key, is having this cut out. Because when we rehoop, this is what we're going to line up. We're going to line this up to our stitch out. I can throw this one away now. And we're ready. So I have my next sheet ready. So basically what you'll do is print the next one, carve it out. So 3 is this one. It has a carve here and it goes down here. It's a tiniest little piece. Oh my gosh. So you have to line this tiny little piece here with this tiny little section here. So that one will go like that. So then this one's in here like this. So see how the design starts to move along? So you'll be printing and cutting and printing and cutting each one. I'm probably not going to print and cut the next one. And I don't even know how much we'll finish, but we'll finish something. probably the whole design, but I might not print and cut anymore. I might use my old first template. Let's see what we have on the machine. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Let's see, what do we have? Shauna says, hey, we'll finish watching after church. Safe travels. Safe travels. Have a great day at church. Not a problem. We'll see you later. And Anna says the XT. Yeah, so your active feed settings are going to be a little bit different on the XT. They're a lot lower than the new software, but still doable. And that's going to depend on the fabric that you choose, and it's also going to depend on the thread that you use. Because if you decide to use like a matte thread for any reason, those threads need a little bit looser tension. Or if you use like a rayon thread, because those are really pretty, those are going to need a little bit looser tension as well, just because the thread itself can't handle the speed. So a little bit looser tension and maybe a little bit slower speed, depends on the thread. Everything I'm using today is pretty good. Yeah, I'm using a 15-year-old spool of thread right now, and it's sewing just fine. And I'm amazed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to and excited about getting all of these tutorials out there for everybody. They're fun. And it gets me in my studio sewing. Okay, got my pages set up and ready. Guess I should have my logo here. It's on the third tray. Okay, maybe I need to try to find a link while we're working on this. So I need to find a link for what the tabletop and the design that we're actually using. Make sure I spell it right. Let's see. She is Claudia. No. This looks like we might be here. Okay. Is there a way to search on your website, Miss Claudia? Coming events, calendar, updates, projects. Bernina Ambassador. Date, download. Why is there no search bar? Oh, here it is, right here. Right? Yeah, that's it. Make a call. Okay, why does that not take me to... Oh, so you can't... Machine, so it won't let you buy it? Download? Updates only to patterns previously purchased. Not quite sure if I understand her website. Okay. Anyways, we found it. It's here. This is where I got the design from, where she does multiple stuff. I don't even see it. Tis the season. Fall. Summer lovin'. Fall. Yeah, I don't see it. It's weird. But this is her stuff. Claudia's Creations. This is the pattern right here, Nature Calls. And we're working on this top piece right here. So she has all of these designs to go into this quilt. There's the bottom one here. So that's what we're working on. This is, I was going to say where you could buy it, but it might just be a CD only available in the actual store. Where are we? 8 minutes. 8 minutes to the next thing. Let's see. New link. I'm working on, somebody asked for the link in the Instagram, so I'm going to update the link real quick to this video. We'll see how that goes. We all know how technically non-advanced I am. I can embroider. Okay, so I found the video. Copy that. Yeah, I think it was because when you click on the scheduled stream, it actually doesn't like show anything but the thumbnail that we created. So there we go. That's updated and done. Close everything on the phone. Back to chat. What's the size of that design? Okay. The size of the design, I'm going to get out the piece that I did and go to the overhead camera. Would you like your chair, babe? Would you like your chair? No? Okay. All right. Here's the finished first one that I sewed. My measuring tape. It is a finished design of about 35.5 inches. 35 inches wide, and you know it's only going to be as tall as it was, which I think we said was about 10, about 10 and a half. Yeah, I think everything is at 10 and a half. Yeah, 10 and a half. There we go. It is very pretty. You can even see when I did my practice sew out that I used that variegated multicolored thread in here. Tripod, let's see what it looks like. Coming along nicely. It's doing the black outline of everything now. I love that variegated thread. This looks so pretty. Always adjusting the camera, right? Okay. Look and see how much longer. 2 minutes. 2 more minutes. We're down to 1 minute, and then we're going to be doing the second hooping. Almost done. It's done! Yay! Okay, first design is done. Let's get it off here. Switch my camera. Okay, here we go. So this is what we have, and if you can see it, which I hope you can see it, there's a black outline around everything except for this one section. Thank you. This one section doesn't have any black outlining, and that's what we're going to line up. So we'll take our hoop off. Now then, we get our second piece. This is the piece we printed and cut with our little cutout here so that we can line it up to match up with this piece here. Just going to take my time, find the first corner, find the second corner, make sure my little piece is right where it needs to be, right there. So this is exactly where I need this to stow. Grab my straight pin, and I'm going to pin through. And I'm going to probably end up going all the way through the backing as well, which doesn't matter. There we go. Check my paper. Everything's still lined right up. Yep, yep. I'm out to this side and pin over here. Creep my hand under so I can get my pin to pop back out. Okay. Lay it flat. Now I'm going to double check my paper. Those two. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Now then, I'll grab my scissors wherever they were. I'm just going to kind of chop a little bit of this extra paper off the corners like I did before, so I don't have to worry about the hoop. Good. Okay, Miss Kelly. This is the key right here. All right, now then, we're just going to get our hoop in here. Since I already have that hoop set from the last hooping, it's just going to pop down in. Fabric is good, backing is good. I'm just going to just a touch. Fabric looks good, fabric looks good. There's just a tiny bubble here. This t-shirt material, why didn't I pick something that didn't have any stretch to it? Dadnabbit. Okay, water. Okay, we are hooped. So, double check the back of my hoop is all nice and tight. You can see where the other design stitched is now way over on one side of the hoop, which is fine. Hoop looks good. Backing looks good. All right, let's get this thing on the machine. checking all my clearances. Looks good. Everything is in. Nothing is bunched up anywhere. So that's good. Okay. Now then, we're going to do we're waiting for some adjustments to the camera. That's good enough. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, let me go back over to the screen for the computer. All right, so now we're going to take that design that we have in Design Shop that is centered, that we printed, and we're just going to load that to the design. So if you don't have version 11 of the operating system or Design Shop, this little load machine icon will not be there, which is fine. You'll just go File, Machine, Load Design. It works just the same. All right, so we got that loaded. Now we're going to go flip back over. Maybe it loaded. Wow. Did we lose the machine? How did we lose the machine? Well, that's not supposed to happen. Let's reopen my software. Too many things open. Green multicolored thread would look good too. Yes, it would. Somebody keeps popping in, and you can't do anything about it in Streamlabs, but somebody keeps popping in and doing these like weird things. Yeah, stuff that needs to be deleted out of chat. Yeah. Scammers, don't click on any of those links. We're going to get them deleted. Okay. Now then, load. It is plugged in. We have the security key. What is going on? Seriously, am I losing the machine? Okay, it's reset. Load. Wow, that's weird. All of a sudden now, my software is not communicating. That's like really, really weird. Okay, fine. I will save it. Save. We're going to go to the desktop and just click save. I will win. Load, computer, desktop, 2 trees, load. 2 trees in a mountain. There we go. All right, now then I'm going to set the color. First, we add color that's going to match up with the other one. So we will do that in black. Then we'll have our multicolor and green and our black for our detailing. Pop. go. Everything else stays the same. Tension, speed. What?
Switch.
Yeah. Okay, tripod. Alright, so we're on the tripod. So now we're going to do the laser alignment. So we have everything set and ready to go. So we're going to do the laser alignment now. So on my paper, just like before, I'm going to count out to make sure I'm equal space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just for my own visual, I'm going to circle that intersection. And then 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's this intersection here. So these are my 2 points, and you can kind of maybe see that it's not going straight. It's kind of angled here because it's going up, but that's fine. That's what the laser alignment does. Everything is still where it should be. Now we're going to go to our first point. So this is one of the reasons why I love this table, because I can press down on this paper as I go to step 1 to get to that first reference point. And centered. And then step 2 is program, which is laser left arrow. And I'm going to go to my second spot, which is over to the right. You can see it's not even, if you can see that. No, my hand's blocking it. That's fine. Haha. So, got my second reference point lit up with the laser light. It's right in the middle of that intersection, and I'm going to program that laser left arrow, and then laser bullseye to center and reload the design. Center reloaded. Now, the most critical point now is I need to do the trace. So I'm going to do my hoop and start and watch that laser light go right to exactly the edges of my paper. And if it didn't, I'm going to have to redo it. So let's do a trace and see how we did. Okay, corner, 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 went right to the point. Timber, let's try that again. I got freaked out by the camera. And put it here. And trace. Point, 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 corner, corner, corner. Perfect. All right, so the trace went well. So now I'm going to pull my paper. Set that aside. Put my pens away. Now the first thing I'm going to stitch is that first line that comes right around the edge of this design. And I'm going to do it really slow. And to do it really slow, I'm going to tell the machine that I want it to stitch really slow. How I'm going to do that is when you press start and release the start button, and then you immediately press and hold the start button, it's going to slow the machine down to 80 stitches per minute. And that's going to let me follow that line right around. And I'll know immediately if it's lined up perfect or not. finish and trim. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little black line now that follows. It's just a little walk stitch off to the left by 1 millimeter. That's all we're off. And we could redo it if we wanted to. I think I will. Why not? That's what we're doing, right? So close. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to the screen. And what I'm going to do is reload the design. So 0. Again. Hydro escapes. Okay, let's redo this laser alignment. First, we got to get it locked in. Haha. That was close. All right, locked in. Program. Program and reload. And it's probably going to trace just as good as it did last time. Yep, everything lines up good. Pull my tape off. Hit start again. Start. So that it goes super slow-mo. Oh my gosh, I'm so good with my paper. It literally stitched right over the exact same line that I just did. It'll be perfect. Okay. This is basically how you do it. From here, it's just repeat the same process. Breakfast, brunch, a little sewing ASMR. This one says it should only take about 20 minutes, so you can see how close that is. It's just perfect. All the other lines are kind of disjointed, and there's kind of stuff that just kind of starts and stops in the middle of nowhere, things that are overlapped. It's a pretty forgiving design for slate off. Could have been how I cut the paper. You could have cut this just a little bit high or a little bit low, which could affect it. There's so many factors to what's going to make it shift just a touch. But yeah, we're hanging out and sewing. Don't forget to click the thumbs up. Give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We'll be stitching every Sunday. Camera will depend on internet access. Today we're at home, so we have the ability to run multiple cameras and things because the internet is stable and good. Worst case scenario is we just run with the phone and do it all on the phone. Then it's moving it around like this tripod camera. Yeah, it's already down to 14 minutes, so it's going to stitch quickly. Speed it up to 1200. Makes the pitch of the machine go a little bit louder. So drop a little comment. Let me know what kind of things you'd like to learn next. Oh yeah, it's coming right in and filling that spot nicely. Yeah, see? You can't even tell now once it came back, I put the other design over. So that's going to line up beautifully. It's going to be beautiful. And then I'm going to frame it and hang it on the wall. I do need, I guess, like another light source. Something that's up here by the camera. Hi, Jerry. Water. Show you what the screen looks like. Yeah, so you see we got 8 minutes left. We're about halfway. It's working on the green part of the tree in here right now. Pretty quick, you know, it's only got 19,000 stitches. Having to move the tripod around because this guy. My companion, Jerry. Great, now it's doing the outlining and all of the black details. That line's going to blend right in. So while this is sewing, this is when you'll be getting your number 3 piece out. Pull it up in the software. Get it centered and ready to load. So let's go ahead and work on that. So number 3 in Design Shop is called top row 3 with the bears. Get that pulled up and centered, and it's already perfectly centered. Excellent. So he's ready to print. So you would go through and print. Tape your pieces together. I'm just going to use the one I printed before. I have it already taped together here. This one I just printed in black and white when I was doing the first practice run. And see, I didn't even cut this one. I just folded the pages. Folded it over. I have nothing. All gone. No snacks. All right. Here's this piece. Let's look at this. So, here is the next section, which is another mountain peak. Looks like 3 trees and the 2 bears. That's this one here. And it's going to line up right there. Right along that section right there. There's our bears. And our tree. So that's what we're going to do there. And then it looks like there's one more here, which is 4. Too many pages. So 4 has what? Eagle? Eagle, trees, 4. Oh, 4 and 5 supposed to go as well. 3, 4, and 5. So we have the bear to line up here. Looks like the eagle lines up here. And then the rocks and the last tree line up afterwards. Like that. Need 3 more to do the left side. Okay, get these in order. Then it goes to the other side. So that's 3, 4, and 5. So then 6, 7, and 8. Oh, so it's 8 hooping. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Perfect. All right, now they're in order. All right. So my job for the next week will be to pull out this video and edit it down to the basics and cut out all of the stitching and white noise. All right, we're going to do one more piece. Switch to overhead camera for that. Okay. Here's our piece. Here's where it lined up. It looks great. You can't even tell, like it came back over it so many times that you can't even tell like where it was supposed to be. So that's perfect. Now we're ready to do the next one. Okay. Pull off my hoop. Move my water to a safe place. Just going to kind of slide my hoop over a little bit. Line up the sticks piece, which lines up right here. There's like a line from here to here. I'm going to go on top of it. Just got to make sure it's rotated correctly. That should be correct right there. Just going to use the same technique I did earlier and tape it. Okay, make sure my hoop is kind of sort of centered over my paper, or under my paper I should say. Under. There we go. Bring in my piece, top, and okay. Lined up. Okay. Looks good. Backing looks good. Now, before I go to the machine, I'm going to actually mark it first. So my center is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Get this back on the machine. And switch the camera. Look at the ceiling. Let's try this angle. All right. Get everything in. Get it fed here and here. Looks good. All right. Grease. Touch something. Okay. So, switch our screens. Let's see if it loaded this time. Nope. All right. That's got to be a Windows thing. So we'll save it again on the desktop. Number 3. Load desktop number 3. This one's going to take a little bit longer to sew. This one says an hour. So we're just going to do the laser alignment and then just start sewing. Let's see. So my first line is black, and then we have a green and a darker green, which you know we're going to use that variegated thread because I like it. And then we have brown bears. My brown is actually on number 3. Wait, what is changing colors? I don't even see anything red on the screen. Oh, it is the tree that's changing. I'm looking at the bears. So the tree color. Green. We'll go back to green. Not really, that one's in the middle, so it should be the variegated, right? Yeah. We'll do a green tree. See, the bear turned green there. Okay, weird. That is a bear color, which should be number 3. Uh-huh. What is this color? Part of the bear, which would be the tan color. see what that is. Oh, there's the other tree. Okay. And then last is our black details. There he is. The only thing I could do better is actually change this to the brown. That's actually on the machine. Ooh. Which changed the wrong color. Ha ha ha. Black details. Alright, so we got a dark and light brown bear. We got the color set on the machine. That is good. Now, let me make sure the brown is threaded. And guess what? It's not. I need this brown, and it's actually from traveling. It's a royal mess. So I'm not even going to try to bother untangling this royal mess. A little too high. Okay, threads are free. Pull off all of this. We had a pretty bumpy ride when we headed up to South Carolina. We had all kinds of things tumble and fall around in the camper. Okay, you're not coming off. Come off. This thread I need to hang on to. These need to be released. There we go. Aha! Voila! Yeah, this is a nice accord brown. I have a pretty mix of threads on my machine. Just because I want to know how all of them run, so that I know how they behave. So that when I show up to like work on a machine, I can figure out if it's a thread related or design related, or if it's actually the machine. Because different threads will act just a little bit different, because they're all just a little bit manufactured different. But the Isocord is a very good thread. I'm switching all of my colors over to Madeira, mostly Madeira. And we do have a needle for this number. Great. And the needle's good. Checking my tip of my needle as I'm threading it. Looking for burrs. Always look for burrs on your needles. Okay, they all look good, feel good. Colors are set. All the other colors we've already used again. Okay. I have to move my okay. Then laser alignment, because we have it loaded, we're set with our colors. We're just going to do the laser alignment. So hopefully it's a better view of that. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, step 1, get to my first reference point. And I'm still blocking it. Alright, first reference point, program, laser left. Get to my second reference point, gotta go to over here. program, step 4, and reload the design, step 5. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to do the trace and make sure it hits the outside edge of all my design. Make sure I did that correctly. Edge of the tree, bottom of the bear, bottom of the tree, side of the bear, side of the tree, across the top of the mountain. Perfect. All right. I'm going to pull this paper off. And start. I can go slow if I want, but I know it's going to go right along that piece. Finish. Stop. I want to go back to the beginning. Back to the beginning. Needle down. Now, I'm going to go up just a smidge and to the left just a smidge. There we go. To save this, it is, whoa, okay, I completely lost my design. Haha. Boom. I gotta reload it. Start over. Oh no, I really gotta start over. Okay. Get my paper line back up again. Tape it all back down again. Laser alignment. We got this. Okay. And over. I mean, the differences that I'm looking at are maybe how I cut the paper, how did I fold the paper, how did I cut the paper. Reload. Okay, reload is good. Recenter is good. Tracing. See, it hits all the spots. Start. Okay. I need to remember. I'm going to move the design. So I moved the design up and over just that tiny little millimeter, but I need to be able to save that. So I want to I always forget what this action is. Keypad. Move trace. Retain X and Y position, which is up and down arrow. All right, I'm going to press those together. Up and down arrow. And start. Gotta get out of here. And here. Oh, why did it lose my design? Come on. Okay, last time. Oh. I think I might be hitting something on the keypad wrong. Okay. Let's hit start. And repeat. So we probably won't hang out the whole time because this thing has got a really weird calculation right now. But it's still trying to figure out like what to do. Software. It's saying 2 hours. It's not really going to be 2 hours because that number is going to drop pretty quickly. See how it's going down. It's calculating. Should only take about an hour. But we won't hang out and do the whole thing. I just for a few minutes. Because it's pretty much going to be the same process over and over. But I will finish sewing it out. It'll probably be tomorrow before I finish sewing all of it out, and then I will post a picture of the finish and the edited video throughout the week before next week. Just have to figure out what we're going to do next week. I'll go through my list. If you have any recommendations or anything you want to learn, please drop a comment and we'll figure out how to do it together. We'll advance everybody's skills. Yeah, we're just sewing. This would be where you would get your next piece, pull up your next design, get it centered, print it, get it cut and put together. I keep trying to walk that way to get in the camera view, but it's that way. Because the camera is mirrored. But it's going to be beautiful when we're all done. Don't forget to comment, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done that. Drink. Hi. Software has settled back down to about 37 minutes. So that's probably a good true representation of our time for this section. So that's why it's going to take a while to finish this, even with a multi-needle machine, just because it's so big. You know, this section is 46,000 stitches left. I think the last one was, 20,000 stitches? This is a pretty big design. But I'll get it finished, and then I'll get it posted. It'll be the thumbnail. ASMR now. I can sit and watch this machine run all day. I can. Hi. Oh, seriously? Needle is good. This is one of those threads that I have that is old. It's an old ARC thread, yeah, and it's breaking really easy, so I'm not surprised. And there's sections of this design that are really thread dense along the edges because everything walks around the edges. So, not surprised about the thread break. Although after this design, I should probably check my bobbin because we'll have done lots of stitches. So there may be a need to refresh the bobbin, put a new one in at some point. We stopped at Sam's right before the New Year's and stocked up. Thanks for hanging out with me today while we do some sewing. This is the boring part where we wait for the machine. So I gotta figure out something to do now in the middle. So we're kind of set. We're ready with our next piece. It's gonna be our Eagles piece next. Yawning. I don't know why. Here's where all the stitches are, is this bears. Because they're kind of full. The rest of this design is like open. You know, see how it's all like open and you can see the fabric underneath? However, the bears and the eagles are pretty thick with thread. So that's where all the stitches are. That's pretty big. So you used to say it's like average square inch is like 1,000. So 2, 4, 6. So he's probably 8 or 9,000. 8 or 9,000 stitches just the bear. So next Sunday, I might start a little later besides 9 a.m. I started pretty early today because we are going to be packing up and heading out again today. We will be driving because I have work other places in the state. So we have to pack up and travel today. Today, and luckily, though, it's only like 3 hours. Not like yesterday where it was 8 hours. Oh, you know what? I think I have #1 programmed, the tan. It's not even threaded. Yeah, it's not even threaded. for a second while I finish threading this. Just want it ready whenever it goes to sew that color. All right, threaded. Trim off all these extra strings and start. Strings everywhere. They're all over the floor. I have to sweep up the floor before I'm done. Don't want the dog licking them up. Broken nail. Time to trim. Yay, everybody's giving thumbs up. Thank you. As well. Yeah, because this has another 30 minutes, and I'll let it run while we do whatever we got to do, and then when it's done, well, I can shut it off at any time, but it has to leave this up here if I don't. No. Yeah. All right. We can go ahead and wrap it up, I suppose. So, hi, I'm Juliet. Feel like a bobblehead. The camera is moving. I'm Juliet, and we're doing multiple hooping. Fun. Have a fantastic and fabulous week, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.